We're going to be joined here right now by someone who's, I'd imagine, very busy right now with golf now permitted once again in the state of Michigan, joined by General Manager of Pine Lake Country Club, Gregory Colombo. Greg, welcome to the program. My apologies, Greg. I didn't have your audio up. Go ahead.
Morning, Tyler. Thank you for having me on today.
Yeah, thanks for being with us. Greg. Starting off, I ask this of everyone: how are you? How's your team? How's your family holding up?
Everyone's doing good. I think at this point, everyone's just a little cabin fever. Family's okay. My nephew's ICU nurse at St. John's Ascension down in Madison Heights, so he's got the frontline view of what's going on. So I kind of use him as my sounding board as far as kind of where things are going and how he's doing. But so far, he's been safe and he's doing okay. And knock on wood, my family's doing all right. So as well as the members too, which is good.
Well, this isn't news to you, but the good news that is out there, golf is back. It's permitted once again under the most recent executive order by Governor Whitmer. So how's that been helping business at Pine Lake Country Club? What has the response been from the golfing community that hits the links over at Pine Lake?
The response has been great. Business-wise, it really doesn't impact us too much because there's no golf carts yet. So really members are walking and carrying their own clubs, which is fine, because if you think about it, really, golf is the ultimate individual sport. So really it's the perfect sport for social distancing, a great way to get out and get some exercise and enjoy the fresh air. Because really, if you can walk on the golf course, what's the difference if you're carrying a bag of clubs with you? And most golfers aren't good enough to hit the ball in the same place anyways as their playing partners. So I think the members are thrilled to be out of the house. Things are a little bit different. Everyone's working from home a little bit more. The kids have no activities to go to. So it's been great to see parents and kids coming out in the afternoon, at least spending some time together out playing and walking at least a few holes and getting together.
Gregory Colombo, General Manager of Pine Lake Country Club, joining us on the MegaCast. Quick pause for the cause for station identification. You are listening to 89.3 WBLD, Orchard Lake, West Bloomfield, Keagle Harbor, Sylvan Lake, 88.1 WBFH, Bloomfield Hills, and WAHS, Auburn Hills. That's WAHS 89.5, Avondale Community Radio. You're also watching us on Civic Center TV, on Comcast Channel 15, AT&T Channel 99 in the greater West Bloomfield area, on Birmingham Area Municipal Access Television on Comcast Channel 15, and on the AT&T Community Television Programming Guide on Channel 99. And you're watching us on the Facebook page of the West Bloomfield Township Police Department via Facebook Live. So, you said, Gregory Colombo from Pine Lake Country Club, that golf is the ultimate social distancing sport. It's an individual sport. For your team, with operations beginning to slowly but surely reemerge at Pine Lake Country Club, how are you and your team working to ensure proper precautions are being taken on the links and at the club?
Really, I've taken more webinars and Zoom meetings than I knew existed to learn more and more about the virus and what I can do to help keep my team informed and members informed. Communication's been the key amongst staff and members as well. As we've all learned, this is a very fluid situation. It's changing week to week and even day to day. And really kind of what we're making sure is that when we May 15th, hopefully we'll be able to open up back in some capacity for members to come inside the clubhouse again. But in the meantime, really we're following the governor's executive order. The Michigan PGA was great as far as giving us some specific guidelines as far as directives, as far as what we should and shouldn't do to help keep members and staff safe. So really we're going with minimal staff. We've either furloughed or got people working from home as much as possible to keep them safe. And really it's members are handling their own bags, and it's so counterintuitive to a service culture that we have of making sure a member actually never touches their bag, but we usually do it for them, whereas now it's the opposite. And making sure that they're coming out, and we're encouraging them to wear face masks upon arrival. Flag sticks aren't to be touched. There's no rakes in the traps. We're following all the protocol that we've been given. And I think the members seem to enjoy it. I think it's amazing that we're doing things online and through our mobile app, which is fantastic as our membership gets younger and more tech savvy. They use this as a great opportunity for them to really decide, hey, I want to go play. They jump on the app real quick and they can tee time for the next day or later on that day if they've got a window to play 9 holes. And it really gets them out, gets them active. Everyone's walking. And it's a different game when you walk and carry your own clubs as opposed to ride a golf cart, that's for certain. And I think members are appreciating the fact maybe that they get to play. Since it's been so long since they've gotten to play, I think they're really appreciating the fact to go out and enjoy the golf course and some of the work our superintendent Terry Pulley's done over the winter. I mean, the course is in fantastic condition, and we're pleased with the job. And we had a mild winter, so he got quite a bit done out there. And the course looks terrific. I can't wait to play myself. I get to play.
So no golf carts, no touching of the
no
flags.
Touching, no divot mix, no flags, no rakes, no coolers, no ball washers, none of that kind of stuff out there.
So you're definitely taking your precautions, and your team's taking the precautions out there to keep the golfers safe. So is there anything
Absolutely.
is there anything else in regards to golfing, to the golf operations at Pine Lake Country Club that you and your team have enacted in the wake of COVID-19 and of this new executive order to maintain, even though golf is an individual sport, it's also very much a social activity, to make sure that these groups of people are a minimal size or are keeping distance from others?
It's tough. Your natural tendency is to hang out after your round and have a beverage and share a beverage with your fellow players. And unfortunately, they just can't do that. So we've also spaced our tee times further apart than usual to allow for less chance of groups coming together. My golf course staff, pretty much they're all working off the same equipment, but those doing the work on the golf course getting it ready. So really, if I've got my cart, my mower, my equipment, that's mine, and I'm owning it for now at this point in time. So there's no shared equipment or tools of any kind either. So really, we're trying to take every step from the first guy on the golf course who's mowing the fairways and rolling the greens to when that golfer comes out to play their round. So the real key is we're keeping people apart. We're encouraging not to come more than 10 minutes before their round and to leave immediately after. But the hard part is, I mean, country clubs and golf, it's social afterwards. Even though it's an individual sport, it is very social, because one of the things I love about golf is that you play 18 holes with somebody and you really get to know somebody during that time, and you spend 4 hours together and you feel like you've got a common bond and you develop a relationship. And that's what's special about a club. Everything we do there's nothing essential about joining a club, belonging to a club. But what's essential is those relationships that members and families build together, whether it's through the swim team or through golf or tennis. It's a relationship-driven business, and this is really the hardest part is the social distancing. It's the opposite of what our club's all about, which is social interaction. But one thing we are going to do this Thursday, we've already done one, is we're going to donate another 400 meals to St. Joe's Hospital over in Oakland County, to the first responders out there who are working so hard in the front lines, making it safe for the rest of us. So we did that a few weeks ago over at Henry Ford Hospital over in West Bloomfield, and St. Joe's is right around the corner from us. We wanted to donate there as well and do our part for all the nurses and administrative staff and doctors, and make sure they get to enjoy a good meal as well.
That's a great effort that's being taken by your team and has continued to over time. We spoke a couple weeks ago with Eric Avila from your team,
yeah, Chef Eric's doing a great job.
Yeah, he absolutely is, and his team did an amazing job with those 400 meals for Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital frontliners. It's a great volunteer effort from your team. If you've seen that more people on your team have wanted to get involved in this, are there any other ways that you and your team at the club are reaching out to help people in the community beyond, of course, these people on the front lines?
At this point, I think it's hard because everyone's so spread out right now with as far as staff goes, but we're trying to keep in constant communication with our staff, making sure there's no issues with any unemployment that they're experiencing. Members have been great, calling me, checking in, how's the staff doing, and that's probably been one of the biggest things I've enjoyed hearing is I've got members calling me or emailing me, hey, how's the staff doing, how are they holding up, and we can't wait to see them again, which is nice because it's relationships just not with members, but it's also with the staff. I've got employees who work there 20, 30. Last year I had a full retire for 48 years. I mean, the staff spends a lot of time at the club with members, and it's an extension of their family, and it's great how they've just been reaching out to keep an eye on them to make sure they're doing okay in these tough times.
It's profound. It's amazing the care that's being taken by your team, and also the care that's being taken for your team by the members as well. So country clubs they're more, it's more than just golf that's available there. Have any other services been continued on, or are there any plans to do those gradually as things open up?
Yeah, actually, tennis. We've been able to do some tennis with the USTA has given us some very specific guidelines to follow. So we're following their strict protocol as well, making sure same thing. You don't show up any more than 10 minutes before your lesson or your match, limiting the number of people on the courts, making sure that we're sanitizing doors and handles and railings throughout the day, just making sure that things are being done correctly to protect the players and my team from the virus. So, and it's really, that's also another great individual sport. Really, it's just you couldn't be further away from somebody. It's I'm not sure what the distance is when you're playing singles, but you're a long ways away from somebody else. So, and people want to be active. I mean, everyone's got a little cabin fever. With gyms being closed down, our fitness center is closed down right now, which I know members are anxious to come back to. But hopefully we get the pool opened up in a couple of weeks, and we'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens with our swim team. We've got 160 kids on our swim team. So we're going to see how that's all going to work out, getting the kids back out. And I'm sure that the state's going to have some modifications for us as far as what we can do there. But we're a big, busy, active place, especially through Memorial Day through Labor Day. It's a family club, and that's going to be the hardest part, is keeping people separated and following the proper social distancing protocols. And we're just going to have to be patient, patient other with the guidelines and the rules, and work together.
Gregory Colombo, General Manager of Pine Lake Country Club, joining us on the MegaCast on Civic Center TV, on Birmingham Area Municipal Access Television, on the Facebook Live page of the West Bloomfield Township Police Department, as well as on the radio, 89.3 Lakes FM, 88.1 WBFH, the BIF, and WAHS, 89.5 Avondale Community Radio. The permission to operate a golf course for people to play golf came out really suddenly last week at the end of the week in the governor's executive order. I would expect there to be some more sudden changes as the data comes in and modifications are being made and certain restrictions are lifted. What is your team doing to keep prepared for those, and how did this sudden change with regards to golf affect your team to get back so quickly?
Well, we kind of planned ahead, worked a plan B. We knew it was going to change at some point, so we kind of had ourselves ready, knowing she was going to probably ease into it. I think Governor Whitner's done a good job kind of following what some of the other states, what they're doing in New York. We keep in touch. A lot of our members are members down in Florida, so we've kind of been following what some of the southern states are doing as well. So we kind of knew it was going to come this way. It was just a question of what degree we were allowed to get our members back up playing again. So we knew it was almost be like a soft opening. That's probably the best way to put it. So as the restrictions continue to ease and we watch the curve and how hospital admissions and things like that are going, we understand and realize that it's eventually going to get here, and that's where members have been great. They've been patient. But we know at some point when carts are permitted back out, it's going to possibly be one rider per cart or family members only in the same cart. Maybe stricter cleaning processes and procedures on the golf clubs. Caddy program. I've got a great caddy program, and unfortunately, we just probably won't be able to get that going right away until probably after Memorial Day. But it's a great way for kids to make some extra money and learn a bit about the game of golf. But we've just got to kind of be prepared, and the only thing that's guaranteed right now is change, and we've just got to be flexible and adapt and roll with the punches, because that is what we do, and we deal with it all the time. The elements change our day all the time. A rainstorm can completely ruin and change our day from morning to afternoon. So we just got to continue that mindset and just look at every challenge as an opportunity instead of a problem.
Earlier on in the program, we were joined by Deputy Police Chief Kurt Lawson and Lieutenant Eric Tilley from the West Bloomfield Police Department. They said they've had a lot of discussion with you about your operations and about clarifications on the executive order. How important has that dialogue been between your business and local first responders to ensure and to enact different policies at the club to ensure the safety of your team and of course, of the members that are coming by?
Sure. The communication's been great. I've spoken to Deputy Lawson a couple times, several times actually. Just so we want to make sure our police officers and first responders have a hard enough job. They don't need golfers or tennis players or boaters making it any worse. So really, we want to make sure before we do something, hey, can we do this? What are your thoughts on this? And it's collaborative. We want to make sure that we're on the same page. We're not putting them in a position where they're going to have to say or do something that they don't want to do. And we also don't want to embarrass any of our members or put ourselves out in the community in a bad light. So the real key is just reaching out to them, being proactive, and vice versa. He's got myself. He calls it now and then as he needs to. And I'd rather hear from him than from somebody else as far as that goes. So the real key is just communicate, whether it's via email, phone, and just being proactive and making sure we're doing what's allowed. And if we're not sure, I reach out and pick up the phone or shoot them an email. That's the best approach that's worked well so far.
For members who have been hunkered down or people that would be making appointments to tee times to be golfing or to be playing on the tennis courts and maybe have been hunkered down and haven't been keeping up with information from the country club, what should they be prepared to do as they come to the club? What new rules, other than what you've spoken of before, where not going 10 minutes before your appointment and so on, what new things can they expect in this time until we're out of the woods with COVID-19?
A lot of emails. It's really a lot of emails, websites, text messages. We've got multiple sources for informing members. We've got a Golf Genius app that we use as well for our members to send for events or for scoring. So that's just one more avenue. But really, in this digital age, it's just communicating more and more. It's almost over communicate. Keep the messaging. What I'd rather do is send out more emails with less content. It just seems like you want to make sure that people are reading what you're sending them, because sometimes if you send them too many details, they only skim through it and they're just inundated with email after email right now from everybody that's out there with updates. So we want to make sure that it's targeted and pointed and effective for what interests them. So really that's kind of the key. And there's always, and I've pretty much been going to work most days, even though we're really not as busy, just as a resource. If a member's got a question or if they need something, I'm available 24/7 for my members, and if I know the answer, I find out for them. So that's really the key. It's just to make them feel comfortable with where we're at. And if they're not sure about something, we're here for them to ask the question.
Gregory Colombo, General Manager of Pine Lake Country Club, joining us on the MegaCast on Civic Center TV, Birmingham Area Municipal Access Television, 89.3 Lakes FM, 88.1 The Biff, and WAHS 89.5 Avondale Community Radio. Gregory, before I let you go, anything else that you'd like to say to our audience? Anything that we haven't maybe touched on that you'd like to speak about?
No, I think we covered most of it. I think the real key is everyone's just got to be patient and understand that things are changing, and this is going to be a different summer. It's going to be a unique summer. It may not be the summer we thought we were going to have, but we're still going to have a great club this year for everybody, and we're going to provide a great and safe atmosphere for them and their families to come on out and enjoy themselves. And it's just going to be different, and it's not going to be better. It's going to be worse. It's going to be different, and I think it's actually going to be better. I misspoke on that. I think it's going to be better because I think people are really going to appreciate what they have at the club and the fact that we do provide a nice, safe, and secure, friendly, familiar atmosphere for them. Maybe you can't get somewhere else. And I think that's going to provide them a nice level of comfort to come out throughout the summer and be a nice little oasis, so to speak, for them to spend their summer with us. If they're not going to get on a plane and go somewhere, come spend it with us.
And where can they get any information and sign up for tee times and so on going forward?
Well, we're a private club, so I'd love to sell somebody some memberships if they want to. But they can find us on our website at the club, or they can email me at gjcolombo@pinelakecc.com, and I'll be happy to set something up for them and share the information with them, and we can get them out, give them a tour once the governor will let them, and show them our great campus and all the wonderful amenities that we got, and they can meet all the wonderful members that we have already, and if they want to be a part of it, which would be fun for everybody once the sun starts shining every day again.
Gregory Colombo, General Manager of Pine Lake Country Club, having joined us on the MegaCast.